If you want to get started quilting, but you're not sure where to start and you're not sure how the process works, this is my 5-part series on how to make a quilt. And in this part, we are talking about basting your quilt. So this is the process in which you temporarily secure your quilt top, batting, and backing all together for the quilting process. First step to this is laying out your quilt backing with the wrong side facing up. You will want to press this beforehand and make sure it is nice and flat and not wrinkly. You will want to do this on a large, flat, clean surface. I am using my table here, but you could also do this just on the floor. Wherever works best for you will work as long as you have lots of room. Help with the process, you'll want to make sure your backing is secured down. I like to just use painter's tape because it's what I have laying around my house. Some clips might work. Whatever you can find is just fine. Next, you'll want to lay the batting you're going to be using on top of the backing. So I'm going to be using spray basting to baste my 3 layers together, but you can also use pins. It is totally up to you. It's a personal preference thing. There are reasons for both. For this quilt, I am using the spray. Once you get your batting laid on top of the backing, make sure it gets all smoothed out and all the creases are flat. And then since I'm using spray, I'm actually going to begin spraying now. I like to get the spray mostly on the batting and then lay it back down and smooth it out really nice. If you are using pins, do not start pinning at this point. You're going to want to wait until the quilt top is placed on top of these 2 layers. So this next layer is the quilt top. You'll want to follow the same process, put this on top and then smooth it out until you're not really seeing any wrinkles or creases and it is laying nice and flat. Since I'm using the spray, then once it's flat, I kind of lift it up, spray a section, and lay it back down, smooth it out, and then keep continuing this with sections until the entire thing is basted. If you're using pins, at this point, you would just start sticking the pins through all 3 layers to secure them and hold it in place. You're going to want to use a lot of pins because when you take this back to your machine to quilt it, you are not going to want it to shift. Since I'm using my table and not the floor, the entire quilt does not fit on the table. So once I have the section on the table done, I go ahead and remove the tape and then pull the quilt down and repeat the same process on the bottom half of the quilt. And if you kind of mess up and you find a big wrinkle on the front or the back, just start over again before you begin quilting. There's no rush. And also after I am done with this process, I like to flip it over and also check the back for any major creases. And once you've done the entire quilt, that is it. That is how you baste a quilt and get it ready for quilting at home. Next, I will show you how to quilt it.